By the end of this video, you guys will know if you are ready for marriage.
A big part of why we started this channel is to have the conversations that we wish we could have listened in on. And I remember when we were dating, we knew that there was like a spark between us. We knew there was chemistry. We knew that we had similar values, but we're like, how do we know when we're ready to take the next step? How do we know when we're ready to get engaged, get married? And this video is going to help people who are in the position of maybe you find yourself in a relationship where you're serious about the person. This is like maybe you're a few months in, maybe a few years in, but you're in the position now where you're thinking about next steps. So we want to equip you with kind of questions you can ask of yourself and of your significant other to determine whether marriage is the next step.
So we're gonna go through 5 different signs that will help you gauge if you are ready for marriage or not. The first sign is that you've been through a few conflicts together and come out the other side.
Yeah.
So you've resolved a few conflicts together.
And I think sometimes people will say, oh, before I get married to someone, I want to see them through 4 different seasons, like spring, winter, summer, fall. I don't know why I went in that order. Because it's usually fall. What is the first season?
What did you say, spring,
I don't
winter?
remember.
The first season
Is winter? Because
Well,
January?
I always think about it as fall because it's like the start of the
Yeah,
school
that's what I
year.
do too.
Fall, winter,
Okay.
spring, summer.
Yeah, okay. Fall, winter, spring, summer. There you go. But for us, we wouldn't be as strict about that. We would say like it's more about what you experience rather than how long you experience. And so what I'm looking for is making sure that I've seen in Mariah a variety of emotions, a variety of different kind of situations that take place where I'm able to see her stressed, frustrated, angry, maybe even grieving. I know that you can't necessarily manufacture moments like these, but it's helpful when you're able to say like, oh, I feel like I've seen almost like the full array of human emotion through this person, and I'm comfortable with how they respond to those different situations in light of their personality.
I think too, this doesn't necessarily mean that you guys have your conflict resolution skills like down pat and fine tuned. But it's good to know that you've been through conflicts together, even if it was messy to resolve it, even if you kind of we're still figuring out each other, that's okay. It's still good to kind of know how each of you acted and reacted in those situations.
So if you're at the point in your relationship where, like I said, you're a few months in and you've done a really good job at seeing each other in different situations, seeing each other stressed, upset, angry, happy, glad, all the different things. If you've done a good job at that, again, you could find yourself at month 6 and be like, oh, I think I'm ready to marry this person. But you also might be in year 6 and be like, oh, now I feel like I'm ready to marry the person. I don't think this is defined by a set amount of time, but it's more about the amount of experiences you've had and shared together.
Yeah, for sure. What's the second one?
The second sign is that you've had the conversation about how your family of origin has helped you, hurt you, and informs how you approach conflict.
I think this is important because when you get married, you like that person's becoming your new immediate family. And so it's good to know like, hey, what do I want to do differently from that my family did growing up? What do I want to take that was really good from them? And how do they impact me now in the way I deal with conflict, in the way I grieve, in the way I celebrate? And just being super aware of that. I think it's something that you learn as the years go on. Like, I don't know if you ever become an expert on how your family of origin has impacted you, but it's important to at least start that process and journey of unfolding what that means for you.
Yeah, I think family means a lot to people. I think whether the family was really healthy and present or even unhealthy and not present, your family impacts you. And I think that it's important to have these conversations because oftentimes your family, whether it be the best parts or the worst parts, comes through you. I remember that saying, there's a saying that says, Jesus is in your heart, but grandpa's in your bones. And what they were trying to get at is that, sure, you can experience so much transformation and your life can be shaped and formed by your spirituality and your religion, but at the end of the day, there's parts of your ancestry, there's parts of your family of origin that will always be a part of you. So you got to make sure to talk about that so that one, you're aware of it as the person who's been impacted, but also your significant other is also aware of that. And they could kind of make accommodations to determine how they can best serve you in that.
Number 3 is when you look at the person you're dating, you want them beside you through anything that life could bring.
Yeah.
And I think often we think of like the positive wins, like having a child or getting a promotion or buying a home. But we don't often think of the negative things that can come with life, the grief, the trauma.
100%.
And I remember when we were dating, a big thing that helped me wrap my mind around like, okay, do I love Daniel? Do I want to be with him for the rest of my life? Is I would look ahead at life and be like, okay, what's the worst thing that could happen? Maybe like a big car crash or family member dying or, you know, something really painful. And I thought to myself, Daniel's the type of person that I want beside me in those moments. He's not someone that I'm worried is going to run away in hard times or make it harder for me. Instead, he's going to uplift me and help me and pray with me and cry with me and just be that person that I need through those tough times.
Yeah. I remember a few things I noticed about you that made me think, oh yeah, this is the person I want to spend my life with. It's like, one, you're really loyal to your family and friends, and it wasn't just in the good times, but it was also in the bad times. So I had reason to believe that you would be that for me. I remember your values when it came to expressing love to others and care for others sacrificially really showed that your character was one that preferred others over yourself. And I remember like when it came to our picture of the future, when it came to family size, when it came to how we'd care for our parents at old age, when it came to crisis and grief, like I feel like the way you articulated what you were going through was with such passion that I couldn't help but believe that would be who you actually would be in those times that are hard and the times that are good. And everything that I saw when we were dating, I see now. Like we've gone through hard times, we've gone through significant storms. We welcomed our son into our life, and all the best parts of you that I saw when we were dating were actually true and came to the surface when we got married and went throughout life together. So I think it's so important for people to talk about these things. I think it's so easy to almost like see your relationship in a vacuum. It's like, oh, we're a dating couple, but you have to remember that this person that you're dating becomes your spouse, becomes the father or mother of your kids, becomes the person who's caring for your aging parents alongside you. So it's like you can't just view it in the now or the next 2 or 3 or 4 years, but you have to think long term as to like when I picture every iteration of my life as I get older over the next few decades, do I see this person being the person that I need them to be?
Yeah. And no one's life is sheltered from tragedy and grief. Everyone will experience that in life. And so it's important to think about the partner you want alongside you through those times.
And then the flip side of that too is like, can I be the person that they need?
Yeah.
And so,
am I ready to be that person?
And you might have an honest look at yourself and be like, oh, when they mention this and they mention this and they mention their future family being like this, or health conditions that are common in their families, or even challenges that have happened before in their family that could happen again, you might look yourself in the mirror and be like, oh, I can't be all that they need me to be, so maybe this isn't the right fit. It's like a hard conversation to have.
It's hard.
It's a hard reality to face, but I think it's important for people to have those serious conversations with themselves and with each other.
Yeah, it's worth seriously considering and putting a lot of thought into this, because oftentimes when you're in a relationship and you've been together for a while, or the feelings are super deep, you can feel like you're in too deep to step away.
Yeah, it's like the sunk cost fallacy where people are like, oh, I put so much into this relationship already. Even if I notice that, oh, maybe this isn't the right life partner, I'll like put those things that I'm concerned about under the rug because we have all these years behind us. But it's important to like, put some real thought into it, because marriage is a serious commitment.
Yeah.
And I think that you want to be fully confident in the person that you end up choosing to be your life partner.
The fourth one is more practical. It's just that you've garnered the skills needed to generate income.
Yeah, oftentimes people have these arbitrary goals, like a degree or a down payment for a house saved. But I don't think that's necessarily helpful, because one, having a spouse through schooling and one person working while one person's in school, for example, could actually be the best thing for the person who's in school and the person who's working. A down payment for a house is sometimes better to save for as a collective. And I think sometimes we have these, again, arbitrary rules that don't actually make sense even economically, because you're more productive as a couple when you're working together. What we would say is that more than a degree, more than a certain amount of money saved, it's more important that both of you have a skill that can be monetized. And so this doesn't have to be like a degree in real estate or a specific certification. It could be a trade that you know that can be turned into money, or even the ability to serve at a restaurant.
Yeah, honestly, if you have a job that makes money, that can sustain your life, that you're okay with living, married, then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you necessarily need a certain tier of job.
Yeah.
Or a certain level of qualification behind that. I think it's important that you've just gained enough skills in life to have a job that makes money.
So I have a friend, for example, who has the skill of photography, and they do photography for weddings. And that's something that they're able to do that is aside from their degree. Before they got their degree, they had this skill of photography and they were able to generate income. I would say that's an amazing example of a skill that you can monetize.
And yeah, I feel like don't be afraid of getting creative, leaning into your skills. Like, for example, I have a friend who knows how to braid hair. And I'm like, well, why don't you lean into that to even like save up for your wedding even before you get married? Or that's something you can have while you're in school to do as a side job at night.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to get creative and lean into the skill set that you have.
Yeah, so more than having a down payment ready, more than having a degree, we just think it's important that you have a skill that can generate income before you go into marriage. This last one is having no secrets between you. We do believe that the secret to a beautiful and happy marriage is transparency.
And so really, if there's anything you've been hiding, you really need to talk through that.
Yeah.
I would say before you even get engaged.
Yeah.
Like, there should really be nothing hidden, no secrets, because if there's something secret, it's just going to breed shame.
Yeah.
And shame is never good in a relationship.
I think sometimes it can feel intimate to disclose the most like closely held secrets that we've held on to, whether it be mistreatment we've gone throughout our life, or trauma, or a toxic relationship. But when we're going into a marriage, we're saying, I'm giving all of me to all of you, and you're giving all of you to all of me. And I think that to say, I'm going to withhold this kind of part of my life is to say that I'm just giving you a part of myself, and the part of myself that I feel most comfortable giving. I think something that I've learned most in marriage is this idea that intimacy is holistic. It's not just physical, it's emotional, spiritual, psychological even. You're learning how each other thinks. And I think it's so important for you not to rob your significant other of hearing the worst parts of yourself and welcoming in / loving the worst parts of yourself as well.
Yeah. Maybe you're listening to this and you feel like, you know what, I'm not ready to tell the person I'm dating this thing that happened to me or this thing I did. I'm not ready to share that secret. And that's okay. But we would just flag that and say, maybe you're not ready to take the next step into marriage yet. And maybe you will be a couple months down the line, or a couple years down the line. But it's just something to think about. If there's a secret that you're holding close that you're maybe not ready to share yet, we encourage you to share that with the person you're dating if you're really wanting to take that next step of marriage.
Yeah, marriage should be the safest relationship you're in. So I think more than just making sure that this person knows every part of you, it's also an invitation to them to be your safest place and to trust them with the deepest, most intimate parts of yourself and your story.
So those are the 5 signs that you guys are ready for marriage. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. So comment below what you think. Comment below if you're married, when you knew it was time to get married. What was the thing that made you think, I think we're ready to take the next step?
Yeah, and if you think this video would help someone, make sure to send it to them, because it would help them and it would also help us as well. And if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe.
And if you like this video, make sure to watch this video next. But with that, we will talk to you next week.